Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. Some of you guys probably wondered why I wanted to get the AEV front bumper, and the main reason why is because I've always wanted a winch on my truck. I don't plan on using it really, but you just never know when you might need to save someone on the side of the road. And yes, there have been some scenarios where I could have saved someone if I had this. Now, I am here at Truck Stop. I did just ask him if someone wants to come in and get a winch installed. We are going to be installing this here. I'm going to be doing most of the work on it, but I just wanted to let you guys know it's not an easy job. It probably might take 6 hours. I would say maybe if you're someone who's experienced, it could take you maybe 3 hours or 4 hours possibly. But yeah, what I did was I decided to go with the Comeup winch. I was going to take some time and see if there was any other alternatives out there, but I like the package of how they set this up. It's very expensive. This kit here, I believe, is either $349 or $399 for the winch mounting kit. So right there, winch mounting kit. And if you want the Comeup winch, it's another $2,300. Now, luckily, Larry H. Miller here in Sandy, Utah, actually is a AEV dealer. If you ask for Jake in parts department, he could potentially give you a discount. At the very least, if he's making a order for anything from AEV, he could save you some money on the freight, because if you buy it from AEV, you still have to pay for freight, and this stuff is not lightweight, especially if you get the bumper aftermarket like I did. So you guys pretty much see I've already have everything unboxed, so you will see all the stuff getting installed. But this is like a mounting plate for the winch controller, I believe it is. We're not using this because I don't need a front license plate, which means we're not going to be installing this either. But if you live in a state where you have to have a front license plate, you would have to install these, but we're not installing that, and yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Now, if you want to use your wireless controller, or obviously plug in your controller to use the winch, this is the mounting plate for that. They give you some zip ties, some nuts and bolts here. It's not a hard job, I would say, but just know that, yeah, if you don't obviously know what you're doing, it could take you a lot longer than the 6 hours they say. Now let's go ahead and unbox the winch. Well, hopefully you guys can hear me over the truck, but we're going to go ahead and unbox this. Like I said, this box is really heavy. I want to say, man, that's at the very least 60 to 70 pounds. Or is it done? He's actually filling the transmission on a 10L1000, by the way. But yeah, let's go ahead and take this out. Let's see what's in here. Here's one box, and I'm willing to bet you this is probably the winch here. So what I'm gonna do is, here, let's just go ahead and just flip it upside down. Yeah, this is the winch here. She's heavy. Wow. There it is. And just like that, there is the Comeup winch. It has a synthetic rope. And I will say, I know that some people are probably going to figure it out later on, but if you don't use this winch, you might have a lot of custom things you're going to have to do. So that's why I went on ahead and just went with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of this small box here so you guys can see it a little bit better. So in this box, you guys will see you have the winch controller here. Okay. And take note of how long the cords are for this controller. So you're not gonna be able to mount this on top of your winch with the AEV edition truck. So you're gonna have to do something custom. I know that some winch manufacturer will give you an option to order longer cords. So if you don't want to get this Comeup winch and save yourself some money, there are some custom ways you can do it. Just do some research. Now this is gonna be for the wireless controller, and then this is obviously if you're gonna be plugging in. All right, and believe this is, oh yeah, this is the hook for the winch basically, right there. I'm gonna probably powder coat this either black or I might do a bronze to match the grill basically on the front, just because I'm that guy. This is the winch wireless controller in this box here. In case you have to see it here, I'll open it up so you can see it, but it's also red. I guess they know GM loves red, so they've made everything red too. So there's that wireless one. And let's go ahead and check out this winch over here. So I will say 12,500 pound capacity. I love the synthetic rope. Even though this has a synthetic rope, the internals of this thing is heavy. I'm willing to bet you this is at least 50 to 60 pounds. So yes, you're gonna drop some payload capacity. So you might want to do weight loss program if you're really concerned about that. Now, here's some of the specs online for the winch. I'm just gonna read some of them off to you. It says here 12 volt DC severe duty winch rated at 12,500 pounds. It doesn't say it online, but it says 5 horsepower, 3,730 watts. Made in Taiwan, interesting. And you guys see the free spools right there. Also, it says here heavy duty series wound motor delivers excellent torque output and fast line speed. So we'll test all these things out in the future. Hardened steel 3-stage planetary gear. Includes a built-in digital 2-way wireless remote. We already talked about that. And then just take note of some of the other things. I'm just going to show it to you here online. But what I want you guys to really see here is, just because it's a 12,500 pound winch, well, it depends on how far out the rope is, because the further it goes out, the less capacity it basically has. And it's going to pretty much say that here that you guys see, okay? So just keep that in mind. But like I said, I'm going to be doing a install video. I never used a Comeup winch. I did actually film a truck that had one on there, but so far I haven't had a chance to actually test one out to see. I've actually used worn winches in the past, so I do have something to at least compare it to. But I will say overall the housing is pretty overbuilt, and we'll see how easy it is to actually get this installed. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I think that because we have the option to put a winch in our trucks, why not? And that's the only reason I'm getting this. I really don't need it, but I feel like it'd be a good way to get some content for you guys. And if someone is kind of interested in buying one, this video will serve as a purpose to help you get it installed. The footage you just watched is probably 3 weeks old, and I'm glad it takes me a long time to do videos sometime, because simply I can show you now the winch installed on my truck. So we are going to Portugal, and hopefully I'll have the install video up within 2 weeks, so be sure to look forward to that. Now, if you are installing this yourself, or maybe your shop, here's one recommendation if you don't need the install video. Be sure to tape off all 3 of these plastic trim pieces. 1, 2, and then this big one here. Now, if you don't do it and you do scuff it, this center piece here is $581. The outers are about $180 a piece. It's really expensive plastic because it's AEV, so be sure to protect that when you're uninstalling this grill. Now, you guys will see here on the ground, this plastic piece sits at the very top, okay? You're not gonna reuse that. That piece, that's the bracket that you're gonna have to take out. That's right here. The good news is you don't have to remove your bumper to install the winch. You just have to take out the active grill shutters, obviously the grill, and a few other things. So with that bracket there, you just have to be mindful, because it took me a minute to try to figure out how to get it out, and the directions weren't as clear as I thought they would be. So just my 2 cents. Also, last thing I'll mention is I was going to powder coat this, but then I found this company online called Factor 55. They have a closed shackle design, and because I'm a beginner with obviously winching people out, if I do need to help someone, that's a safer way to do it. So I may upgrade to that hook, that way I can do it closed off, you know, winching. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and look forward to the install video later.